In 525 BCE, the Persian Empire did something almost unheard of. It lost an army, not a patrol, not a regiment. 50,000 men. They marched into the Egyptian desert carrying weapons, supplies, and orders from the King of Kings. They were never seen again. No battlefield, no mass grave, no survivors. For more than 2,000 years, history offered a single answer. The desert swallowed them. A great wind rose from the sand and buried an entire army alive. It is one of the most chilling stories of the ancient world. But to many Egyptians, this was not simply a weather event. It was a curse. Because when you march against a god, nature itself becomes the weapon. To understand the disappearance, we must understand the man who sent them. Cambyses II, son of Cyrus the Great, king of the largest empire the world had ever seen. He had conquered Egypt, but he despised its gods. Greek sources tell us he committed the ultimate blasphemy. He stabbed the sacred Apis bull, the living avatar of the creator god Ptah. Ancient writers claim he laughed as the animal bled to death. Whether exaggerated or not, the story mattered, because the priests issued a warning. Blood pays for blood. Deep in the western desert stood the Oracle of Amun at Siwa. The oracle refused to recognize Cambyses as pharaoh. To Cambyses, this was war. To many Egyptians, it was suicide. The oracle was not just a temple. It was not just the voice of the gods. It was their throat. Centuries later, Alexander the Great would cross this same desert to be declared divine. Cambyses crossed it for the opposite reason, to destroy the source of that authority. He detached 50,000 elite soldiers. Their orders were simple: burn the oracle to the ground. As they marched away from the Nile, they were entering territory the Egyptians believed was under divine protection. They marched for 7 days. They reached the Karga oasis, the last outpost of life. Then they turned west, into the Great Sand Sea. Then, during a midday halt, the horizon vanished. Herodotus calls it a great wind. It did not simply blow, it screamed. The sky darkened, the dunes moved like waves. To the Egyptians, this was not chance, it was Amun's protection. When the storm passed, the army was gone, buried, suffocated, erased. It was as if the desert itself had opened and closed again. Today, we search for scientific explanations. We say sandstorms happen, but scale matters. Sandstorms kill individuals. They scatter units. They do not cleanly erase an army the size of a city. The desert preserves. Bodies 3,000 years old are found with hair still intact. Metal survives. But of Cambyses' army? Nothing. But perhaps the curse was not supernatural. Perhaps it was human. In 2014, a new theory emerged that changes everything. The army may not have been destroyed by weather at all. At the same time, an Egyptian rebel named Petubastis III rose in the desert. He controlled the wells. He knew the routes. And in the desert, water is power. The theory suggests the Persians, exhausted and stretched thin, were cut off, ambushed, scattered, destroyed over time. Not a single battle, a collapse. This would explain why no single site of destruction has ever been found. So why the sandstorm story? Because empires survive on image. Under Darius the Great, the rebel Petubastis disappears from the historical record. The empire endured, and the myth remained. Ancient writers believed the curse did not end in the desert. Years later, Cambyses died from an infected wound to the thigh. The same place Greek sources say he struck the Apis bull. To ancient minds, it was not coincidence. It was balance. The army is still out there. Somewhere beneath the shifting dunes of the Great Sand Sea, fragments of truth remain buried. Perhaps they died in a rebellion. Perhaps they succumbed to desert chaos. Or perhaps, in the language of the ancient world, they were the price paid for challenging the divine. For more stories where power collapses beneath time and nature, follow the channel.